Protein. So I had luciferase as my core that I could put luciferase in as mRNA into a cell, and that cell would
need to articulate the good.
Yeah.
I will quote Fifth Element and say that time is not important, only life is important.
Time not important, only life important.
Like love is worth saving.
I don't know love.
Now encompasses everything. Does it not?
It's all there is.
It's all there is.
You choose survival, social, wisdom, or heart.
Miss, multipass.
I do believe that this consciousness is sort of like a meat popsicle, as Bruce Willis in The Fifth Element called it.
Sir, are you classified as human?
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
Chad just got an elliptical. Chad, get in here. I'll show you what's up. Show you how it's done.
Fifth Element, and the gal that's playing in Fifth Element, I had the same. So I had this tendency to be able to be captured by the stories or the performances.
Well, one of my questions was when men and women, so separately, when they're looking for someone, what qualities should they look for?
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the mistakes young people make is people can be insanely interesting, right, in all sorts of different ways, and they can have, like you said, this kind of mother virgin personality, and then they can have this like poor personality as well, and having this range makes them interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping your getting with somebody interesting is how you keep this relationship going.
Yeah.
So for young men looking for someone, thinking that they need this ideal person,
Yeah,
what they
narrow.
need is it's too
They need
narrow.
someone with range.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of maturity, is that, well, and that's part of subduing the world. So God tells Adam to subdue the world, essentially. You know, and all the eco freaks think that means, you know, rape and pillage Mother Earth. It doesn't what it means. It means everything in its proper place, everything properly categorized. It's part of the action of logos. And what you do in a good relationship is you put everything in its place, right? So there's a time for virgin mother, and there's the time for, you know, sexual licentiousness, and everything in its proper place.
Welcome. I'm Grim Grizz, and you should have had savings throws by now. You know how those work, right? How do they work? Well, see, there's 4 choices, and you tell them the choices. This reminds me of a guy on a show called Zelda that was black and white. Black and white. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart are the basis of your saving throw choices. That's what you're using against the mind control. I roll a die for it. If it's over 10, you take half damage. If it's under 10, you take full damage from the mind control. But remember, Embody, we want what's best for you.
Sitting here on my phone, the internet is where I roam. And my chat is in the zone. I'm literally not alone. The devices that I own.
Survival, social, wisdom, or heart? Choose! Oh no, survival has gone out of the box. Survival has gone out of the box. And it's probably gone forever. So, socialists. Hey, don't be slippery. Don't be slippery. Get back here. You're a terrible bingo caller. A 16. A 16. Lovers of wisdom, that's a 4 for you. A 4. Heart folks, you got a 6. That's a 6 on the heart die. Indigo Kid, you got a 4. 4 as well. Let me dive for the survival.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see. Doing what is right for me is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Out of the box, under the desk, and over there on the floor, survivalists with a 19 tonight. You're gonna be just fine. Just fine. This is the late one of Demir's more recents.
That's the crucial issue. Same with aggression. It's not that it's to be repressed. It's that it's to be subdued. It's to be put. Intellect is the same thing. So Milton characterized Lucifer as intellect gone wrong. And intellect's a great gift. It's a great talent, and it is God-given. And that's the simplest way to think about it in many ways, because it's highly genetically determined. Highly. Now, no one likes that. It's no wonder, because it's a rather dismal fact of life. But so it's a gift. Now, you might say, well, how can the world be a fair place if some people are given this great gift of intellect and others aren't? And the range of how do the cosmic scales balance, given that some people have an IQ of 150 and some people have an IQ of 70? Massive difference. Well, partly along with intellect comes pride and the probability of it going wrong. And there's no one more narcissistic than someone who's smart.
I listen to him, and I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think he's telling us, I see this guy, I see both of these guys, but I see this guy as being very, very genuine and honest. He is telling us exactly what he thinks.
Bubble up, bucko. It's the Guilt Buoy stream. I have a card with topics, but first we're going to be doing a card for the show. Good to see everybody in the Hive Mind chat, including Sherry from the Grail countries, Stephen from Stephen's Sainted View, Chad the Alcoholic from the Friday Morning Nameless, Slack from Please Be Nice as a DM Tonight, Mills, Sanjay, Ups, Ooch, no, Ooch is what he said, Franco, man your way down here. Probably more important of a Dumir drop for you to know about is this little corner 3, where him and McMo talking stuff and make a song. Talking stuff and make a song.
If heresy is a way of being in the world,
But I'm not gonna spoiler it for you. Spoon Man is in the house. He plays spoons, guys, and has house problems in the house. No wonder you showed up for this stream. It's got a picture of a house on it and says "Bubble up, Bucko." You know all about that and the home ownerships and stuff. I heard. What? Thank you again, Shadow Cabal, for sending me to Tarpon Springs as a VIP in Jonathan Peugeot's Symbolic World Summit. Remember it.
This agency. We want
And so, perhaps you're wondering why Stephen's interview might be bringing up smelling is because we're doing this experimental asynchronous estuary via video channels, and Grail Country hasn't gotten back to me on that yet, so we might need somebody to fill in for Grail Country from Grail Country, Luke. Where we're playing estuary and everyone's putting a topic on the table. Chad's trying to get 2 off already. It's a chaos. It's a chaos wave. Agency deck card of the show is the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts. I hope that's not the cue to assassinate somebody. I got an hour and a half before I play the Elven Spell Sword Jarazel in the Slag's Axe game, as they call it, and it's a guilty pleasure for me because I feel as though it's a terrible thing to do while the living room's on fire. Me just here vacuuming, but I really enjoy it, and so it's a guilt buoy. How guilty I feel about it is a buoy on part. I think it's like the way the alignment gyroscope floats along the way. There's a guilt buoy going on with that. Perhaps.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Chad has threatened to keep putting topics on the table until we get a 5th player. So anybody capable of making video, jump on that, throw a topic on the table, and maybe the table gets bigger than we anticipated.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime?
I don't want to know how things are to be. I want to exert action as long as I live, so that the sort of things which should, in my opinion, be, have more chances of being. If they're all set, it doesn't interest me anymore to see the year 2000 than it interests me to see the year 1000. The merit of the future is that it is not set. The merit of the future is that it is not set. The merit of the future is that it is not set. If they're all set, the merit of the future is that it is not set. The merit of the future is that it is the area in which we can exert our will, exert our efforts, and try to validate our values. That is the merit of the future.
I'm going to the gym.
Keep it coming. Never know me. I'll never die. I love you. I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
But Sanjay asks, who's that dude? McMo says, buddy, that's Jung. It's Jung himself saying the merits of the... What?
I'm not a cat.
All right, we have a topic card. First up on the topic card is... Oh! Look at that, brought to you by the Manchurian TikTok Countdown. You remember that scene in Independence Day when they realized that the signal being sent was counting down? They called it TikTok, people. They called it TikTok. But first on the card is impersonation, and in the spirit of. Okay, so we have an impression. Would you like my pudding pop? Is like a Cosby impression, right? And then there's an impersonation, and then there's in the spirit of. And like those three pillar poles, the circles of Venn. Those three circles of Venn, what's in the middle for you? What's the nuance between an impersonation, an impression, and what is it? It's on the card, man. In the spirit of. In the spirit of.
Ducks eat bread.
They do. They like it.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all. Yes, Sanjay, we should definitely pretend it's Jung. Anyway, has anybody gotten the deep dive and found his occult and intelligence agency connections yet? Is that a known? Is that something we can talk about?
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Daddy.
So yes, maybe that's for the replay game, or the replay comment game. What's the difference between impression, impersonation, and in the spirit of? And when you compare the three, what are the nuances that you do see?
Like you give people propofol, you take them out of consciousness. It's a general anesthetic. And as you bring them back in, what you can see is when they're unconscious, the brain breaks down into local networks. And then when they become conscious, it reconfigures as a multi-scale small world network. And that, of course, lines up with Tononi's theory in some pretty important ways.
Sanjay says, when is the 5-way table topic thing? It's ongoing asynchronously. But that would be a question that would fall under my choice of topic. How the hell do we do this? Hey, look, it's that Christian Baxter guy. He's going to be in the VIP room with me. He's probably going to try and sell me on Jesus or something. Next up on the hit parade card, we have a smokehouse, ice house, doghouse. And there's like a house where they smoke meat. And then there's a house where they keep ice cold. And then when you're in trouble, you're in the doghouse. So maybe we should all watch that Vervaeke presentation from look, it's ice. That's what the AI drew for Ice House Smokehouse. Maybe there's we should revisit the Chino presentation of Doc. Okay, jump out card was the Jack of Hearts, but that's not the card of the show. Maybe we should revisit John Vervaeke's presentation from the Chino gathering on home and hearth and hymens. That wasn't in there. That definitely wasn't in there. Red card of the show is the Queen of Diamonds. That was a deep cut too. That was weird. Next up on the hit parade, we have the Blue Church card of the show. It showed me a 3 of clubs when I showed you. It was the Blue Church. If that means anything to anybody. And they get the 5 of clubs. 5 of clubs for them. All right, all the rituals are done now, I believe. You did that one already. Man, you've run through them fast tonight.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Daddy.
Oh, shoot. Where was I going with this? Attention.
Okay. The next one is Dwarven Goblin Tinkerers. Like, isn't it weird that it was at least if I remember my WoW right, it was the dwarves and the goblins. Well, they were gnomes. Shut up. Point being, like, if it came to the battle against Sauron or whatever, at what point do you run into the dwarven home and say, "Hey guys, we really need your help. Things are going bad out here," and at what point are they better off just continuing tinkering the way they tinker, without your what do you call it? That hen that ran around with their head cut off, or because the sky is falling, lady.
I'm attacking the darkness.
And the Queen of Diamonds is Saint from Stephen Sainted View is John Chrysostom, the 5th asynchronous estuary player. Oh, we found one. Excellent. Well, there's 4 topics floating around. Hey, Tom. Oh, yeah, I think to play the blind elephant game, you have to have at least 5. This is sort of a crossbreed, I think. Oh, dear.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas. Maybe that's the best you can do.
Oh, I always forget. Okay, next up on the card for topics of the show is in-group, out-group kayfabe. In-group, out-group kayfabe. And that's kind of like we keep pretending there's this thing called the TLC, and now there is or now there isn't. It depends on whether or not you are what side of the kayfabe you want to be on. Does it exist, kayfabe? Yes, I participate in it. It must exist. Or no, it's just videos and live streams. There's no there in the transjective liminal thought space. And and don't forget those words on the screen. For those of you just watching, the words are Manchurian, TikTok, countdown. Music break.
brought Jonathan Pageau into our awareness was sort of as a bishop of symbolism. I mean, the man now runs the Symbolic World website, and it's all into symbolism. And and I don't know why I can't find these videos on either of their channels, but they brought Peterson came on and he was like, check this out. It's a symbol, and he put it on his head. It's a symbol, and he put it on his head. It's a symbol, and he put it on his head.
How in the world do you have time to keep up with the videos around this little corner? Combinatorial explosiveness. You cannot keep up with all of the videos. Most of you cannot even keep up with just my videos. How do I try to keep up with this? Part of why some of you watch my channel is because I'm watching other channels and I take little bits of what they've done and I say, this is the important part. So now you don't necessarily have to watch that whole Jordan Peterson video. You can just watch my video because I'm doing the filtering for you. We're outsourcing our relevance realization. That's how humans and community work. Part of the reason I keep very close eye on Grim Grizz's channel and Chad's channel is because I trust their salience filters. And they watch other channels that I don't have time to watch, and they point me to things that I should pay attention to. And so I can't watch everything, but I'm watching the other people, what they're watching. And everyone is doing the same thing through me. And it becomes a big chain of distributed cognition. Because we're distributing and outsourcing.
This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We too can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, what the devil has gotten into you? We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. But so the intention is like this will be, I'll cut this part off and leave it as a video. Oh, and you should have pressed those buttons before that. Hey, I'm Buzzy. We're doing an A/B split testing, experimenting on whether or not certain brandings influence the Ko-fi throughput. But enjoy.
obvious. I mean, a boy like Chatsworth Osborne Jr. is bound to be different. Yeah. Remember?
So I found that show I talked about earlier, from which I was inspired by the Gilligan guy hit. His name was Maynard Krebs. It turns out. It turns out. Oh dear. I'm out of time. Oh, meanwhile, I'm not out of time. So, we're gonna do a bonus set of savings throws tonight for all the new arrivals. For the mind control that follows will be more less thought through. I'll probably revisit the topics if I try. Anyway, you get to pick savings throws again. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose during this. I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head. Shake it up is all that we know. Using the bodies up as we go. I'm waking up to fantasies. The shades all around aren't the colors we used to see. Broken ice still melts in the sun, and times that are broken can often be won again. We're so alone, and so really matters to me. Take a look around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. You don't forget to get a +2 for chatting into Hive Mind over there. Survivalist. Oh, we have you this time. That's a deuce. A deuce for you. Lovers of wisdom, come after the socialists who got a 7. A 7. Number of chakras for you. Lovers of wisdom, that's a 15. 15 for you. Heart folks, only a tree. Only a tree. But don't forget, you can participate in the replay conversation. Indigo Prime 17. You can participate in the replay conversation where we're talking about impressions, impersonations, and in the spirit of, the difference thereof, the nuances between the, what do you think? What do you think? What's the difference? What's the difference there? What's the difference there, and how does it affect my LARPgate? My LARPgate performance? All the world the stage.
One thing is true. A great change of our psychological attitude is because we need more. We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature. Because we need more. We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature, because the only real danger that exists is man himself.
And whoosh. And
For the next hour, I have time to kill before my game where I play a elven spell sword, which is a guilty pleasure and a guilty what do you call it? Buoy for me. Buoy. Bubble up, Bucko. A guilty buoy game. That's gonna happen in an hour. Meanwhile, if you got the +4 to your next save, Steven. So for the next hour, I don't know. I'm going to be interacting with the chat. Maybe drop one of them invite links. I don't know. That's a big, fun, exciting thing that's going to be happening if you stay tuned.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal. So say we all.
Yes. Let those delta waves relax into a sleepier state. That doesn't help the mind control go deeper or anything. I promise. I have no idea. I haven't seen the studies. Here's a Shenandoah Valley card of the show. The 3 of Hearts. That makes me think of horses. Doesn't it make you think of horses? Yes, I am Mr. Fancyhead. An open panel stream, maybe. Let's get the hive mind activity up a little higher before we drop the link. I sent one out to my friend there at Grail Country to see maybe if he'd want to do his putting the topic up on my stream and we can just clip it out rather than him having to worry about making a video and uploading it like us other yahoos. And I want to leave that seat a little warm just in case he pops into it. And I really I don't know. I like the way you guys are using your fancy emoji powers to make people that on the out group feel outside. But yes, we might have some invite links, some hot, spicy invite links. And you might be asked to do the shanty if you take the invite link. So here you can practice.
We all know that there is no agency any living gent can see doing what is right for me. Is lifting up my bro so he can grow some eyes to see that doing what is right for me increases all our agency.
Sorry, I wanted to wax nostalgic. I wanted to wax nostalgic.
And it feels to me like there's a bit of a like a trap going on here. And in the same sense that, like stuff with January 6th, the stuff with like the school board meetings where parents are going down furious, and then you're labeled as a terrorist. It's like, they set up this trap for you. They push you to see how far they can push you before you will react. And then as soon as you react, they're like, oh, look, see, proved our point all along. We're in the month of June now, which, as you're well aware, Rob, is
I kind of already anticipate and cringe a little bit, feeling that Christians have a certain reaction to things like that. Because of the way certain psychedelics have been used in American culture. And I do agree that it's not just this thing that can be used in any way and they're just good in all circumstances. But to me, I have to, there's no way that I can cast these things out and say these are just completely bad, because it just seems like without these things, I would have been in a much worse situation. That it kind of opened me up to this experience of other people that was like felt close and felt this like just deep love for all living things. And it's hard for me to spin that as it'd be something bad. People can say that it's artificial or that it goes away, but I've never had an experience that doesn't go away. It seems like everything washes in and out like everything else. And so just it has value in and of itself to even be able to see that space, even for a small portion of time. And that, for me, I saw the connection in the brokenness of the secular world with addiction and with PTSD and all these different traumas that people have that make them react to there's certain things in their environment that are fixed, like their mom, the way their mom acts, or just these different kinds of things that my goal, if it wasn't to go to Peru and work there, me and my wife came up here to Washington to start our own thing up here. And I wanted, then as I'm kind of creating this structure for this church that would be based around the Christian ideal and wanting to incorporate that more in very much the same way that I see Jonathan Peugeot and others like him, JP Marceau, and I really like
that JP fella, man. I always wanted to meet him. Maybe he's in the hive mind tonight. Let's drop a danger link and see what happens. All right, here we go. Danger link. Come on. See what happens. She's batting down the hatches, man. The chat is moving so fast for me right now. Where'd you introduce you? Oh, wait, Melkor too. Great. How you doing, fellas? Look, I'm using our fancy Monster Party format to maintain my distance.
Yeah, man. I'm here to get you saved, dude.
Say that again, sir.
I said I was here to get you saved.
You look very indigo. You have some kind of lighting magic? Man, your agency has funded you well. See, there's this thing I don't talk about much anymore called the Hog Farm, which is the Hand of God field agent requisition manual. And see, what you have in your setup and layout as the agency standard of your agency should be like a default package for the LARP Brigade role. Like, we need the items and the stuff, like, and that's where the Hog Farm comes in. It's the item requisition thing. And like, all right, dude, I need a YouTube studio. Get me the backs to set up. It's right here in the manual. But that's like deep layer stuff. I've never gotten anybody to play at that level yet.
Well, I'm not playing with it right now. I haven't figured out how to make it work for stream chat. So.
Well, I don't recognize that Melky guy other than from the chat, so I'm going to make him feel all awkward with the big screen now, maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe solo layout. There it is. Who are you? Why are you on this stream?
I don't know. I mean, I just like you, Grim.
Okay, now we need some who are you, though. Your beard.
Oh, the who am I? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm Melchizedek. Can we like maybe like a special question? Like, who am I? I don't. I have a
do you
beard,
live
a
where
family,
it's cold right
a
now?
hot tub.
You have a family and a hot tub.
Yep.
That's amazing.
And I just got this book. John Hears just gave me this book.
Well, you want to read us a piece of it?
Sure. I'll read like one sentence.
That's perfect. That's about how much we can take.
I flipped open and it said, I waited and then thought, why bother? Exotic. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah. He was just at my house. We threw a big what's called a supra dinner. It's a big like Georgian feast where it's like a 5-6 hour dinner and it's a series of toasts throughout the night. And it's quite remarkable. We had these Georgian caterers come and fill up the whole table. We had like 25, 26 people at my house and just tons and tons of wine. And at the Symbolic World Conference, I'll see you there. I think we were going to do possibly one or two of these super dinners.
Okay.
So since you're a VIP, very important person, whatever.
As funded by the hive mind and the shadow cabal.
Yeah, good work. So maybe you'll get a chance to get in one of these dinners, but it's pretty interesting because you have what's called a Tamada, who's kind of the person in charge of the dinner, and they go through a series of toasts, and we toast to the highest things. So we toast to virtues like love, to the Theotokos, motherhood, right? And then when you get to the fifth toast,
stop, pause. What's that big fancy word you slid in the middle there of that sandwich?
Theotokos?
Yes.
That's that's what we call the Mother of God in the Orthodox Church.
Okay. News to me. So we like to know what people are talking about.
Yeah. That's what that means. The God bearer.
Welcome aboard, Isaac Spoonman in the house. He was in a campground at a campfire with me once, and he played wooden spoons and such.
That is very true. That is very true.
What are you doing in April, man?
In April?
Melky, can you mute while you're not talking?
What's that?
Can you mute while you're not talking? I think we're catching me through you.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
What's that? April?
Yes, the Eclipse crossover event in Bosquedale, Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. I don't know that I had
You remember
heard of
that? You remember the eclipse where Trump looked with his naked eye while he was president or something? You remember that, yeah?
Yeah. I
He
do,
was
yeah.
standing next to an Easter rabbit, all symbolically, if I recall correctly.
Big time symbolically. Yeah.
See, I'm hoping people at the conference have looked at these important things and saw the symbolism. But there's another eclipse crossing our country, and it's crossing that path of the other one in Bosquedale or close thereabouts. And so
Yeah.
I've decided to be there to see if anything fancy happens.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I probably don't have anything going on in April.
April 8th is when the event itself happens. We're going to want to be there by then. So let's say April 6th or so. And other than being there myself, I have, that's the extent of the event planning that has gone on. Anybody wants to grab that ball.
It's supposed to pass through where I'm at in Arkansas.
Oh,
you should be on
I went to the last one. I went to the last one. We saw it in Wyoming, my son and I, and it was one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced in the world. Is like if you're directly in the path, like you got like right there where it's 100%. It's unreal. It's just it's surreal.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see one in person, even a partial, because the effect will be maybe signs and wonders, like, shall we say?
That was fun to manifest, wasn't it? In the case you're new here, the Signs and Wonders performing is what this one clip is.
Keep it coming. Never know me. I'll never die. I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
See, that, ladies and gentlemen, was the performance of the Signs and Wonders, invoked and instantiated in the Chino event by the power of the hive mind, believing it as such.
Yeah.
Embodied.
It's when we can all get ourselves pointed the same direction, like toward my Ko-Fi. It's amazing what we can accomplish.
Listen to him. I think he is telling us the truth. That is indeed what he wants. Those of you who are sort of sniffing for duplicity or a grift or dishonesty, I don't smell any of that here. I think
it's good to have the duplicity sniffers in the hive mind chat.
Indeed.
Bosquedale barbecue. It's Del, Dell, but yes. We could cook meat. That'd be fine.
Oh my goodness. Is it conveniently on a weekend, or is it in the are those dates?
You'll have to find your own calendar source, man. I can't do that on the spot.
April 8th. April 8th.
I can tell you the 4th month and the 8th day of the 224th year of our Lord.
Anno Domini. There it is.
It'll be
Monday.
fun. It'll be fun.
Nice.
Or it'll just be me and 3 guys from the internet who show up. We don't know.
Nice.
Manifest. Whatever happened to that Asheville revival? Or you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think it sort of petered out.
Nobody covers the petering.
Yeah, they don't cover the petering.
They're all Paul, but never any petering.
Oh man, is that is funny. I probably should bring that to since Paul enjoys our salience so much. We could bring that up to him and hear his thoughts on the.
It'd be fascinating if we could find some of the people that were there at it and like check up on them, like what whateverville now. The aftermath.
Where are they now?
Yeah,
I think they just went back to class.
That makes the most sense. Okay, well, let me regain my superior authority on my channel. There's so many different things you can do with the magical StreamYard, and if you are going to do with it, you should try it out via the link in my description, because then they'll pay for mine.
Deal.
Yeah, man. I'm getting tempted to get one, so maybe I'll use you.
I would appreciate it. From the Hive Mind, Zach says, "Why spoons, Spoon Man?"
Why spoons? Oh man. Well, I've been a percussionist for a long time, but these
Ooh.
spoons, they make
Easier to
sound
carry than drums, he says. Easier to carry than drums.
big
Do it,
time.
man.
Do it. Oh my
And
gosh. Well,
give us a taste.
I'm holding my phone. Oh my goodness. Can I do this?
Oh, there's
Yeah.
drum.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Look at that. We're in business. Oh, I'm way over here. Oh well.
Yeah, play like we're out in the crowd.
Something like that.
That ceiling fan psyop is wild. Is wild. But now, why did you get into spoons? Why spoons is the question.
Why spoons? Why spoons at the Signs and Wonders? Or just why spoons? I mean I always loved um the original two metal spoons playing in folk music. It was such a cool little concept, and percussionist wise is like, I can make a sound that's really neat and intentional on my thigh and annoy people. That sounds amazing, anywhere I go. But it's a fun sound, and it's one of those things that's kind of a challenge. If you're a percussionist, it's not too terribly large of a leap, but yeah, it's cool. I like I like it. It fits with the folky music and stuff, and I like that kind of thing. So
You got a pretty nice percussion setup in there.
yeah. Buddy of mine has just recruited me to play a couple gigs with him. So
Oh, you
it's
better drop links to the videos of those performances, sir.
I I'll try. We're hoping to. It's supposed to be a big old showcase. It's supposed to be local talent in the Cleveland, Ohio area. So hang on to your butts, I
As
guess.
popularized by Drew Carey.
Yeah. Undoubtedly.
All right, how
Ooh.
about we do this? How about we do this? Pick a deck, Christian. We have the
Uh,
deck, the blue
say,
church deck, the red deck,
oh,
and the Shenandoah farm deck.
I'll pick the farm deck.
Farm deck from Christian Baxter. Let's go then.
From the hog farm.
Yes, the field agent requisition manual. Kale, wait, hold on. First of all, your card is not. Yes, that too. That too. But the card is the Queen of Spades. Kale, I see you're out there. The link should be in the link. It should be pinned. Let me know if it's not, guys. And that'd be your special card. So I don't know. Say things.
Things.
No, Christian Baxter.
Oh.
That's your card. Say things now. It's your turn. Just like on the live basketball. No, you mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
There
I
you
know. I screwed up with the
Thank-
audio. Say that again.
I just pulled a card for you, and now you say things.
Well, it's very serendipitous that you would say that this is all being funded from the hog farm, from the Shadow Cabal and whatnot, because I am from Arkansas, and we are the Razorbacks. So that's me saying things.
All right, Spoon Man, what deck would you like? You know the decks. Which one?
The Blue Church. Why not?
From Cleveland, Ohio, the Spoon Man with the red hat and the blue church choice. Your card, sir, is the Ace of Hearts. Oh, what a surprise! Now you say things for a minute.
Say things for a whole minute. Well, it's good to show my face a little bit. Been busy, been doing all kinds of stuff, but Been wanting to participate. Been wanting to throw spoon playing out there. Been wanting to do all kinds of stuff and haven't had the time, so I'm making time, including the musical endeavors and stuff. But it's uh things.
All right. That's it for now. But just deck, Melky, Metzoplex. Would you like the Fed deck, the Blue Church deck, the Red deck?
Red deck.
Red deck for Melchizedek. Here we go. I don't know what to do while I shuffle, so here's 20 seconds of this. I still couldn't shovel right. I flipped on the deuce of clubs. Hey, that's it. The 7 of diamonds.
Oh, good number.
And then I go here, and it's your turn to say stuff.
So what do you want to do at the Symbolic World Conference? Do you just want to listen to people, or do you want to are we going to get into some mischief?
I don't even know who's talking. I know I'll probably just hang in the VIP lounge as much as possible, making the right, and then afterwards see what happens.
Who are you most excited to meet or hear?
I want to see if that crow guy that he brought to Chino is there. He was cool. Mainly the truth of it is that they happen to hold a conference where in the same area my family is, and that's my reason for wanting to go. And that I do what I do on the internet is why I ended up in the VIP room. So
nice, very nice.
I'm interested in Martin Shaw and Jonathan Peugeot.
Yeah, Martin Shaw is kind of a legend.
Yeah.
What's he a legend for?
Being a bard, bardic activity.
See, there's going to be 20-sided dice there. We might be able to talk someone like that into a game of axe or something. Then that would be good times.
Oh, goodness. Oh, man.
All right, guys, I'm getting nothing from the hive mind, and
couldn't put on a very good show in the chat, huh? The live stream. Keep them coming.
I expect more from them. Save versus silence. Exactly. Spoon Man, you did great. I'll see you next time.
Okay.
Yeah, man. How long have you been doing this show, Grim?
This is probably, well, it depends, because I did a whole year in a place called Lemon Land, which is cryptocurrency that got bought out by Justin's son. But people could give lemons, and I could open a lemon treasure chest and spew them all over everyone in the hive mind. And so the feature functionality of that was a lot of fun. And I did a year of that before I really got into YouTubing at all. And then, I don't know. The channel goes back 4 years, 5 years, maybe.
Were you in graphic design? Do you do a lot of the graphic design, or is it all AI? Or do you do a lot of you do all the video stuff?
Well, I feed I used to make the clip videos like Demir and Chad and stuff, and the branding was in OBS, and I would flash it by pressing buttons the same way I do banners here. Okay. It would be like, remember, and then I'd turn on the other one. And then somebody made a branding for me, and then more people just made brandings for me, and it became like he'll put my work up, he'll show my work, so I will do it and be part of it.
Where do we send brandings if we make you a branding?
The Twitter, we're trying to do a crossover between the Discord and the Twitter community right now, but we can set up other ways. The internet is full of fun things.
What are the brand guidelines?
You should be able to feel it by how much you've been exposed to by now.
I like that. That's cool.
Honestly, I mean, people can try, but it's like that one guy, Symbolic. That's probably 5th generation. Like this is probably like 7 layers of deep subliminal stuff in there. I just put whatever people send unless it's inappropriate. So, it's my pleasure to show out, to say, hey, there's people doing stuff, creating things. The creative spark is out there. Look. So,
when did you develop the set thesis?
The LARPgate thing?
No, like the God set.
Oh, the God masks phrases. That's I saw the algorithm fed me a bunch of stuff that said a bunch of what's his face? The mask guy. Follow your bliss, fella. Oh, come on. The hive mind will know. Let's give them a chance. Outsourcing your memory rarely works. But anyway, he went around and he studied all these indigenous cultures, rituals, and stuff, and they all had these initiations into manhood. And then I realized that, like, we got that if you're Jewish or a Mason in America. Otherwise, like, there's no, unless your father or family is in part of some club that they do that, you don't get that. And so I wrote a Substack piece about what mine would look like if I was inventing one. And the 4 phrases of the God mask are like, if I could only tell a 14-year-old like a short burst of things to help them orient in the world they're facing, it would be, this is a PvP server. The beast takes what it wants and gets what it gets. Man protects the sacred, and you're part of it now. Like, you might think that you've avoided it, but you're part of it, even if it's not doing anything. If it's passively consuming media content and scrolling or spending hours in a solo player video game, then you're part of that. That's what you're doing as part of it, because you're part of it now. And so that's it. The beast takes what it wants, and the man part, that's all. It's meant to be internal. I mean, it's true of fishing, which is what made me think of it, is because, like, he might even see the hook, but he can't control the impulse.
Yeah.
And so, like, the beast in us, we have all sorts of those. And if you let it rain, it'll get what it gets for taking what it wants. And so that's, I don't know. That's the God mask.
The Jesus and paintball for the
we covered paintball for Jesus in the last stream. Melky.
Okay.
Melky, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask, why do you call it a God mask?
Because the whole yahoos who that I can't remember his name, his story of it was like that. It starts off with a fight where the dude is like embodying the God, and then like makes the kid win the fight, but makes it like it's a real fight, but he lets the kid win and then puts the mask on him and says, you're part of it now.
Whoa, that's cool.
And so it's ripping off of his thing and putting it in a story, and then my phrase is into it.
Yeah.
But it's part of the paintball for Jesus ritual, because like that's the same kid who got strung up on the cross and shot by everybody else with paintballs. So it's
Dude, I don't even know that story.
It's on my Substack. Click the link over there.
Oh yeah, I haven't been over there. That means reading.
You can make the voices read it to you if you want it bad enough.
Yeah. The voices.
All right, guys, I do have to get ready to go play an elf.
Have
an
fun.
elven spell sword. Thanks for coming on, Christian and Malcolm.
Yeah, man.
Metzoplex. I like it when they show themselves out. Hey!
It is an awful responsibility which has come to us. We thank God that it has come to us. We thank God that it has come to us instead of to our enemies. And we pray that He may guide us to use it in His ways and for His purposes, His purposes, His purposes, His purposes.
Captain Behan, what was your most outstanding experience on this historic flight? I suppose it was when the clouds opened up over the target at Nagasaki. Target was there pretty as a picture. I made the run, let the bomb go. That was my greatest thrill. My greatest